Okay. It's my stream, and it's happening, I think. We'll see how it goes. Notice that... Huh. What happens if I refresh that? It says it's working. Okay, good. Alright, it is going. Alright, okay. I'll just be checking this Twitch chat more than anything really here. I can't remember exactly where we left off. I am going to find the project. For people that weren't here yesterday, which is probably most people, what we're doing is making a... God, this royalty-free music sucks so bad. Should I try and find something better? Probably. Like, it just brings too much attention to itself. There we go, maybe this will work. This looks... Yeah, there we go. Okay, so what we were working on previously was this game called, the working title is Life is Cheap. I'll actually go over it again. Kind of what we're working on here. Okay, this is from yesterday, but I deleted the stream because I think I had a lot of not copyright free music in there, and I was like, yeah, I'm probably just gonna be a ding for this. I'll just delete the stream. Plus, it was kind of boring because I was just setting up a lot of stuff and getting some basics done for the game, very basic stuff. So the idea for the game, working title, Life is Cheap. It's gonna be, you're gonna have one computer that's the host of the game, and basically the other people just connect to your computer via IP. It's not gonna be like an MMO or anything because they are profoundly difficult to create. MMOs are a ton of work. Like, just populating the world for an MMO takes years and years and years. Server infrastructure costs are prohibitive, and doing it with one person is like, if you were to do an MMO with one person, you're looking at a 10-year project minimum. Like, it would take forever, unless you have some magical idea to get around most of the work. It's not going to be easy. So we're not doing that. We're doing just a game that's hosted by somebody, and then your friends join. And another benefit to that is, since you can be, you can kind of trust the clients to a degree on that. Like, if your friends want to cheat, you might want to get new friends, or maybe you want to cheat at the game, and that's okay because you know who you're playing with generally. It kind of makes the programming, the multiplayer aspect of it, a lot easier. If you're trying to avoid cheating when you're making multiplayer games, and you don't trust the clients at all, then you have to basically make it so that you have some kind of central server authority that actually checks that the moves the people are making are valid. So if you hit, like, say you hit A to move left, and then the server has to send back to your computer, like your computer then predicts what happens when you move left. The server, and it sends to the server a valid command, like, you have hit move left. The server will then do a projection based on where you should be later on in the future. Like, he hit A, he can be here, like this position, this coordinates. And if he is not here, update his computer so he is here. And basically what you're doing there is you're making it so that the game is, in theory, unhackable. So all the player can do is give the server valid inputs, and the simulation is basically run on the server. What we can do is basically, since we can trust the client, we can kind of avoid a lot of that complexity. I believe, I'm not the best game programmer, but, like, you know, from my experience programming, I believe we'll be able to trust the client in this, which I'm sure a million game maker multiplayer game makers now are like, no, don't do that. But for this game to make it as simple as possible, actually get it done, because otherwise it'll be quite difficult. That's what we're going to do, is we're probably going to trust the client. The client, they'll hit A, and then they'll just send their coordinates to the server. The server will just accept their coordinates. This is, like, very insecure, but the thing about our game that's special about our game is you're playing with your friends. You're not playing with random people off the internet. if we were going to make a game where you play with random people off the internet, or if the game became somewhat popular, you would probably switch that model up. If you've ever experienced like rubber banding in Counter-Strike, rubber banding in Counter-Strike is the server and your simulation on your local computer disagreeing. Like, in my game, you would override the server, and you would never rubber band because your coordinates you're sending to the server goes, oh, I guess you are there. Even if you, to other players, like you lag out, you teleport across the map, the server goes, oh, I guess that's a valid move, that's fine. So that's what we're doing. It should be a lot easier. And, yeah, anyways, let's actually figure out where we are in the building this game. In theory. Okay. I see we have a player. We have a world. And I believe if we start this... Okay, we do drop. We can move and jump. Basically what I was doing to start is we're following a tutorial, which is kind of why this stream... It's not going to be the most exciting. I'm not actually just going to wing this, because this is the first time I've used Blender and Godot in so long. I do not remember anything. And it would be even more boring for me to start, to just literally, like, look up tutorials and read tutorials on how to do all this. So what I've been doing is, I've been, let's see... following this tutorial, well, somewhat following it, very loosely following this tutorial. Skipping a lot of it that I don't really care about much, just to get closer to having a working game. Like, I don't care about putting weapons in that you can shoot people with or anything like that, because we don't really know what that's going to look like yet. I might come back, and like, that also wouldn't be that exciting, I don't think, to really see. I think people are more interested in just like, let's get some people in the game, just to get that started, and then we can kind of build the game from there, however we want to build the game. That to me seems like it'd probably be the most fun part. So I think what we need now is to lock the mouse to the screen, and then we need to figure out how to.
I'll add a unhandled input function, and if
I think he's adding the ability to quit the game right now.
Okay, and then here I'm
so what we need to do right now is we need to lock our mouse to the input here, and to have it capture it, and then control where we look. And I think he's going to go over that.
Player scene, hit play, select current. Okay, so now I can move the player around, but we need to lock the cursor.
Pretty much where we are.
So that when we move the cursor, the player rotates along the camera. So
perfect. So most FPS controllers are the same when you're making video games. Again, I'm more of a web dev. I'm not the best game programmer ever, especially when it comes to like quaternion math and things like that. But my understanding is there's usually two ways to control a player. You can either have an engine that's physics-based, where you're applying like physics impulses to your character, and the physics engine handles, this simulates like what happens to the physics object, which is you. And that's kind of interesting, because if there's a bomb explosion, you can just use the physics engine to figure out where it pushes you. One nice thing about physics engines that we can do if we trust the client, that's very difficult to do if you don't trust the client, is we can simulate the physics on the client and then have it send to the server like the result of where you went. Like if a bomb explodes, it'll send you flying, and then you just tell the server like what happened to you. That's kind of cool. Then you can just run the physics simulations on the clients. If you do that model where everything has to be authenticated by the authority server that is not somebody in the game, you would have to. You can't really do the physics model, or else you'd have to have the server in real time doing all the physics interactions, which would be quite difficult. So, like, you typically wouldn't do that. You would do the other type of controller, which is called like a kinetic controller, I think. Kinetic movement controller or something like that. I believe. But basically, you don't use a physics engine. You just use, like, math for where they move. Like, you're just like, oh, you hit W, your velocity is this plus this. Like, you're not actually being like, hey, physics engine, that you're applying a force this way. It's actually just like, take this and move it here. And that's kind of like the two types of controllers. Like in Counter-Strike, I believe you would have the non-physics based one. It's more just going to be like some math. It's like, you hit W, you're now here, you accelerate at this rate. The physics one, there's not really like a you accelerate at this rate. It's like these are the forces that are acting upon your body at this time, stimulate the result. So that's kind of different, right? One, you're just going direct to the math. Like, it's a function. You hit W, this happens. The other one is like you're in the physics engine, and the physics engine applies to you, and you're just applying forces around it. So those are the two common ones that I know of. I think one's called like a physics-based character, and the other one's a kinetic-based character or something like that. I can't remember the names. I think that's what they're typically called. You could look it up if you're interested. Oh, make it happens here. Oh, you missed yesterday's stream. Yeah, no, making games, the reason why making games takes so long is because it's like it's 5 different art forms masquerading as one art form. So it's like, to even start making a game, you have to know how to do like 3D modeling, 2D texturing, some programming, like level design to some degree, like all that stuff. It's like, it's a whole bunch of stuff, sound design, animation. Like there's a lot of 3D modelers who don't know how to animate. Like that have whole careers in 3D that don't animate. It's like that's a separate art skill. And there's animators in 3D who don't really know how to model. Like, so there's just like, game design is very deceptive in that it is so many art forms in one. And the other issue is there's basically no small games to make. It's like basically even if you make the simplest project you can make, it still is big. Like even making Hangman or something like that has a way of just growing and escaping in complexity. So, you know, and when people are dreaming of making a game, they're usually dreaming of extending a feature set or creating a feature set around an idea they like. And so by its nature, it's going to be like, you know, like some work at least to get it. So that's why I'm trying to keep this, like, the scope of this is still quite large. I mean, I'm hoping that because I've done a lot of like some networking work and stuff like that I can figure out how to do this. I have some experience in kind of like, you know, serializing data. The goal will be, and that's actually something I'm kind of designing right into this. Yeah. You gotta use the asset store. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do most of this from scratch because I'm gonna try and keep it simple enough that that's possible. But I'm almost going with a Minecraft kind of thing, if I can do it, where you farm out the actual level design and game design so you don't have to do it. You're just like, you'll make a mechanic where other people will design the game. Like, so it's like, I want to give a sandbox of building blocks so that I don't have to do like 2 years of building a world. Other people will do that. That's the idea anyway. It's kind of like what my company does too. It's like we build a low-level platform, like an API, and that way other people can figure out what to use it for. And we don't have to build like full giant products. We just build this massive database, which is houski.ca if you're curious. houski.ca. It's property data. It's AI and property data basically. Okay. So figuring out how to lock this mouse here. Also, Cap, did you use Godot, or I guess if you're using Asset Store, you're probably on Unity or Unreal.
Close the game. So on the world scene here, I'm gonna add a script, and then I'll add a unhandled input function, and if input.isAction, just press quit. Get tree quit. So now I can just press.
Whoa. Okay. I guess I'll just type that in. It'd be cool if like there needs to be like some kind of weird plugin where you can just copy text that you see. I wonder if that's probably a thing, but that'd be handy. Let me see if I can just like make. I'm only using one monitor, which is not ideal for some of this stuff, but okay, come on, get bigger. There we go. Okay, here we go. Time to type some stuff. It's an exciting stream. Oh god. I wonder if spacing matters, if it'll just... Oh my god, I hate languages where blocks are denoted by white space, like Python and crap like that. Like, well, this one, yeah, never been a fan of this. I feel it's just like, when you like define a block with no syntax, like instead of just doing like this, like here's my block, when you have to do it with spacing, I just feel like it's just like you spend so much time like formatting and stuff. I just have never liked it. It just seems like just use curly braces. But I mean, and this language, GD script, is kind of like JavaScript almost. I don't really know what it's most similar to. I don't know if it's strongly typed. Is this a strongly typed language? How do I just make a... does it need colons? Let's find out. What's the keyword here? Var? Let? Var? Okay, var 20 equals... Oh, nice. It's got a nice nice compiler errors and stuff here, like right in this IDE inside of Godot, which is crazy. That's pretty cool. Can I define a type? Oh, you can. I hope it has type checking, because that would be sick. Like, that's actually pretty cool. So if you do this, I mean, this would know the type just from this simple assignment. But it means that, like, you can never accidentally... well, I'd have to look at how GD script works. I'm a Rust dev, and Rust is, like, super, super type heavy. But you should be able to not do this. It should error out. Oh. That is a very strange... I'm used to Rust errors, which are so good, and just, like... I have no idea what this means. Unexpected identifier. I think it just... I don't... Can you not just immutably do that? Can you do this? Whoa, that's weird. You can definitely do that in Rust. Okay, so how do you reassign it? Can I just do this? Or does it have to be in a function? Oh, wait, was that a tab thing again? Wait. Also, I don't know how the lines have to end in this language either. Yeah, there we go. Okay, perfect. Cannot assign value type string as int. Doing this and having a strongly typed language will save you so many headaches down the road. So if you ever program, always strongly type everything. The reason I like Rust is it forces you, like, if you use Rust or a strongly typed language, you have to do this. And I always find if in any language where I don't have to do it, I forget to do it, and you just get so many weird bugs that way. And they're always really hard to detect. Well, let me just demonstrate this if this works. Because now it shouldn't error. Unless it is detecting the type and setting it from... Nope, the language works like JavaScript, which is super dangerous, where you can do this. So you can just change the type of a variable mid-function, which is just garbage. Like, it is absolutely the dumbest shit to allow that in a language. But new programmers like it, because it's like, oh, it didn't give me an error. This should absolutely be an error. The fact that this is not an error feels so bad that it's, like, crazy. Because you just know that you just have a whole slew of bugs that you're going to get now from the language just doing this simple decision to allow you to, or to not set a type off the bat. I think this is similar to how Python does it, but Python's a big steaming heap of shit, so I'm not a big fan of it. Unity, and I switched to Unreal 5. That's true, that's true. The Unity store is pretty dope. The Unreal store is cool too. I've only used Unity. I haven't actually ever really used Unreal. I'm not a good C++ dev. So I don't know how it really works. But Unreal always looked really cool. I always wanted to try it. But I'm more of like an open source nerdy dude, so Godot came out and I was like, oh, I'm only using Godot from now on. Because it's like more my style of shit. I don't want to pay any royalties. I don't want to use non-open source shit if I can avoid it. Because open source stuff is pretty cool. You just don't have to worry about stuff, and if something's like not what you want it to be, like you can ask someone to make it, or you can make it. It's just cool. Anyways, well, now we learned a bit about the language. I don't know if semicolons are necessary at the end of lines.
Escape and quit whenever I want, so I'll save that. Go back to the players.
I hate how they adopted like all the weird crap in JavaScript. Semicolons at the end are optional. Like, ugh, greasy. Do not like. And it should auto format one way or the other. Like, so if you have them and you save, it should get rid of it if it's not. I don't know how it prettifies on save. I don't know if it does that. What is it complaining about? I wonder if there's a way to use Rust in this thing. I wouldn't probably do it. I would use whatever they recommend and how they have it set up now, but it'd be interesting to know. The parameter event is never used. Are these old ones, or like how do I clear these? What's this do? Clear output. How do I know if this is like a thing or not? Parameter delta is never used. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, because it's taking an event. Wait.
Action just pressed quit. Get tree quit. So now I can just press escape and quit whenever I want. So I'll save that.
How is he not getting a warning on that? Because he's right. They're right. Like this input doesn't ever get used. What? Well, that's cool. You can get the manual right in here. Well, now I have to figure out how the hell to get back to that script. Okay, there we go. I am very confused how the fuck the magic between it taking in this parameter to that being hooked up to that is absolutely insane and completely wrong. What? Wait, does it... Wait a minute. I guess it must just always take an event? What happens if it's just underscore? Okay, yeah, weird. I guess that's just the thing in this language. It seems wrong. It is wrong, but that's how they did it, so I guess that's how it goes. I mean, it's not a big deal, but... I'm just, like, not used to, like, specifying magic shit that's there for no reason. Like, there should be something to indicate it's not used or it shouldn't be there. Can you do this? Alright, well that's cool. That'll work. Because if you do the underscore, it's like kind of how like... Well, that is kind of weird because... I'm not sure what the underscore means in this language because like this should just be func ready. I assume that it's... Okay, it's some kind of idiom apparently, or... No, they're just using that to show unused functions. So, because it's not being used, they just put an underscore, which is common in a few languages. So there you go, you can put it in variable names. So that's fine, just shows it's not used. I'd prefer it just be like this if you're not using it, but I guess that's fine. That might just be me. Maybe people like that. I don't know how much people care about like weird programming nitpicking, but probably not at all. Alright. So now we can quit the game apparently. Let's actually see if that works. It does not. I think I had to bind the keys properly. Wait, does he have quit in here? Yeah, he has quit in here. Where is this? Input map. Project settings. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Don't know exactly why I have to do this. I don't think it's input devices. What is it? Is there search? Events? What is this thing called? Input map. Inputs. Oh. It doesn't search tabs. Interesting. Okay. Down. Well, I don't really want a dead zone. How do I change what this is? How do I edit this?
Fix settings, go to input map, add new actions, up, down, left, right. I'm also going to add a quit action, up, W.
Okay. This UI is a little weird to me. Like it breaks convention of UI to a large degree. Like a plus should be add, it shouldn't be edit. Like so it's like kind of not semantically correct in my opinion, but that's every app basically ever. Unless you're gonna hire someone who's like a professional UI designer, like you're gonna, and even then, often you'll wait, does it want? Wait, he's got use physical key code, but now there's a whole bunch of options for it. I guess this is, I think that's probably what, it should be S though. Can I just do S? S. S. Okay, this might take a few seconds. Not super looking forward to doing this for all of them, but not the worst. Can I not just... Yeah, you can. Oh no, I missed it. There we go. Left. Definitely not the worst UI ever. Like, Blender's is far worse. This is actually like a treat compared to Blender's UI. Most of it makes sense. Most of it you can figure out pretty easily. But, like I said last stream, Adobe Acrobat and Blender are the worst UIs of all time. Oh, and GIMP. GIMP is god-awful. Like, for free software, you probably shouldn't complain that much, but, like, I prefer GIMP didn't exist with its current UI. Like, it does more harm than good. It probably, like, gets people out of doing 2D art, because it's so bad and hard to use. Which is weird, because it's like, Photoshop has not the best UI, but not a bad UI. And, like, it's, like, they could have just copied it. So it's, like, weird that they could have just copied it, but, like, they didn't. I think it's just called escape. There we go. Okay. So I think we need to go back into our movement controller now. SAD, escape, physical, physical, physical. Okay. We're probably gonna have to go back into the script of moving, and I bet. What do I? How is there a dock in, like, what view is this? What am I doing here? Where's all my sweet music? Oh, it ended. There's only 28 minutes of music. Only 28 minutes of free music exists. Okay, so somewhere... Input... Okay, here we go. Input get vector. So this looks like it's some sort of physics-based controller. Because it seems to be doing, like... Well, actually, I don't know. Yeah, this isn't... Because it has no physics... Wait, it's in physics process. I don't see any, like, impulses. I just see, like, move toward. So it looks like it's, like, overriding the actual physics engine. But it still exists in the physics space? I don't know. Strange stuff. I think we need escape somewhere. Or was that in here? Quit. Yeah, okay. Let's try it now. See if we can quit. Yeah, we can. Okay, cool. Also, I should check, I guess, that I can move still. That'd be handy. Yeah, WSD works now. Alright, so now we gotta lock the mouse to the player controller.
Mouse mode equals action, and if input.is action just pressed quit. Quit
okay,
whenever
Okay, so something on the player script here. I don't think I have a function ready. I have no idea how you keep code in video games clean. Like, just attaching scripts to crap and then, like,
input.mouse mode capture.
Having everything everywhere seems like such a strange concept to me. Like, but I know massive video games have been made doing this, and I have no idea how they keep, like, anything organized.
Mode captured. Let's take a look.
I hate that there's nothing that, like, there's no semicolon or anything to mark the end of a line. It's so creepy. Oh, it did work. You say how my mouse disappears? It's locked into the game now. It's taking, like, over the mouse. It's like, hey, I want to control this.
Okay, so now the mouse is captured, and if I hit escape, I can close out. Now we just need to handle the rotation. So up top, I'm going to get...
Okay.
A reference to the camera, add onReady var.
I'll have to figure out what these are exactly here.
Camera 3D.
I'm gonna.
And then under this ready.
I imagine it's like a preload function, and
the var camera equals camera 3.
Because the one that doesn't make sense about that onReady sounds scary because onReady means you're gonna have race conditions everywhere, so it probably means preload. Because if it was just like onReady, does that mean you have a stack of functions that like wait for other functions to like complete before they run? I'm gonna assume it just means like preload.
3D. And then under this ready function, I'll add another unhandled input function, if event.
Why do they all have underscores? Even when they're used, is that just like? Yeah, I have no idea why they all have. Why they all have underscores? That's a very strange convention to me.
Is input event.
Maybe it indicates a function that's standard to the system.
Mouse motion.
Like this is part of the game engine hooks. Like a standard function there.
And when the cursor moves from left to right, we're going to rotate the player on the y-axis. So rotate y negative event dot relative dot x, and then I'll multiply that by 0.005, and then I'll copy this, and on the line below, camera dot, and paste that. When the cursor moves up and down, we're going to rotate the camera on the x-axis, so I'll change this rotate y to rotate x, and then the relative x to relative y, and we just need to lock this number to a certain range, otherwise the character's camera could
clamp it or something. How do we
forward
clamp this?
infinitely. So under that, camera dot rotation dot x equals, and I'll copy this, clamp, and paste that, and then comma negative pi over 2, pi over 2. All right, so save that, and now we can move around, and the player can look up and down, and everything works as expected. The movement isn't great, and there's a lot of things that you can do to this controller to make the movement better, but that would be a little bit out of the scope of this video, so we're just going to tweak a couple numbers and call it there.
Can I add a sensitivity to this?
And
I wonder how I added a...
change the speed to 10, the jump velocity to 10.
I'll have to add
well,
a slider of some sort to
gravity
control
to
the sensitivity of the mouse.
20. And for our purposes, this movement is going to work just fine. We can
Don't know if it matters
move
whether
around
it's
a
a
little
floats
bit
or
more
not.
quickly.
Whoa,
And
got my
jump up
Counter-Strike
and
settings in there.
Okay.
Why is it
that's the
so
right
laggy?
movement.
The input
Next
is
up,
so
we're gonna give
greasy
the
on this.
player our pistol mesh as well as some animations. So I'm going to go back to the
Like it's smooth but laggy. It's so weird.
Control-Shift-A, give it a
Maybe because it's just a debug
child, and then
version of it.
transform
Maybe if I ran
position,
like
I'll
a
set
non-debug
to
version, it might be
0.5,
alright.
minus 0.2.
Okay, I don't care about the pistol. We do that later.
Effect.
Well, I just want
All right, so it's time to start.
UI, I guess, so that we can figure out.
Thinking about some of the multiplayer aspects of this project, and we're going to start by making a main menu.
Actually, I do want one thing though. I do want on my character just something pointing the direction that's like forward. There we go. Come on, character. I gotta figure out how to get out of the script view. Oh, it's right up here. That makes sense, I guess. Okay, player. So we gotta go into this. We're gonna have to add. I guess I gotta go into here. There's a way you can do it. I haven't used Godot in a really long time. I've only ever used it once before, really. Shape? I want a collision shape. I want like an actual like box, but that could do it. See what this does. This is just a... Okay, yeah, this looks like it'll work. Okay. I have no idea which way is forward. Size, okay. There we go. Okay. Don't know which way is forward, but I might be able to see... Oh, the camera. I forgot I can just see the camera. Here we go. So this is forward. The reason I'm adding this is so, and I really hope this is parented, and we should probably just be able to see it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it is. It is following our character, so it is glued to us. It's parented correctly, so it moves with us. The reason for the box is in multiplayer when we have the network code working. Without this, we won't be able to tell if like the character's looking up or down or moving left or right at least. I don't know if a pistol in I guess a pistol should move up and down in a FPS game, probably when they look up and down. This will be a little interesting though, because when you look up and down in this game, like, you only want this to move. You wouldn't want the entire character to move, because that would be like awkward if like it was syncing like that for up and down. But I guess we'll see. That's our amazing character. Looks perfect. Okay, I guess we have to make a UI.
Alright, so it's time to start thinking about some of the multiplayer aspects of this project, and we're going to start by making a main menu so that players can choose to either host or join an instance of the game, and then later, when we start wiring that up, I'll explain a little bit about how the logic of that all works. So I'm going to go back to the world scene over here, and I'm going to start by deleting this player node here. That was just there for testing purposes. We're going to instance them in later in a different way. And then I'm going to go to the 2D view, close this panel, and then on the world node, I'll click
2D view.
Later in a different way. And then I'm going to go to the 2D view, close this panel.
Okay, 2D view.
And then on the world node, I'll click that and Control A, add a canvas layer.
All right, canvas layer, there we go.
And to that, I'm going to add a panel container, and
oh, I've done something wrong. Oops. It's nice how fast you can add things in Godot.
Main menu.
Main menu.
And then I'll give that a margin container, and I'll give the margin container a VBox container.
I've heard that like it's similar to CSS, but that's like a lie. I've never understood how people say that. It has like nothing to do with CSS on the internet, because I'm like really good at CSS and I have no idea what this means. Like a margin container, what is that? VBox container, also not a thing in CSS. There's just divs in CSS. Cool.
In there, everything else is just going to be in the VBox container. I'm going to give it a label. I'll also.
Wait, I guess they're kind of like divs, but I wouldn't say it's similar at all.
Give it a button, and I'm going to call that
label and a button.
Post button, and then I'll duplicate that, Control D, and I'll call this next one join button. And then last but not least, Control A, I'm going to add a line edit down there, and I'll call the
line edit? Like an input? Cool. Weird name for an input.
Line edit address entry. Okay, now let's add some text here. For the label, I'll say main menu, and then I'm going to set both of these to center alignment. Host button for the
which alignment? Center or like horizontal or?
And then I'm going to set both of these to center.
Oh, both. Gotcha. Fancy. Wow.
Alignment. Host button for the text, I'll put host. Join button, text.
Okay.
It's going to be join, and then address for the placeholder text, I'll put enter address. To join here, and then I'll also align that center. Okay, now let's go to the main menu and click this and select full rect for the anchor.
Where was that?
Join
Oh.
here, and then I'll also align that
To here?
center.
What have I
Okay,
done?
now let's go to the main menu and click this and select full rect for the
Oh, cool. Yay.
The anchors. Margin container, theme overrides, constants, give all of these 15, so it's got some space around the edges, and then VBox container, theme overrides, constants, give it 15 separation, so there's some space between.
I don't really care about that, because obviously you're not going to release a game with the menu looking quite like this. There we go. Or wait, do I? Do I care about this margining?
Separations. Main menu, and click this and select full rect for the anchors. Margin container, theme overrides, constants, give all of these 15, so it's got some space around the edges, and then VBox container, theme overrides, constants, give it 15 separation, so there's some space between them. And then for the main menu, click, hold Alt, and then click one of these orange buttons here on the corner, and then just drag it in so it's nice and centered. That looks good to me. Let's make sure everything looks good. Yep, you can click these, type stuff in. Let's.
Mine does not look like this anymore.
One of these orange buttons.
Yeah. Okay, we have a menu.
It's here on the corner, and then just drag it in so it's nice and centered. That looks good to me. Let's make sure everything looks good. Yep, you can click these, type stuff in here. All right. Let's wire up these buttons and get some references to this. So host button, click that, and then go to the press signal here, double click that, connect. Same.
Wait, what?
In the corner, and then just drag it in so it's nice and centered. That looks good to me. Let's make sure everything looks good. Yep, you can click these, type stuff in here. All right.
Like mutability like that just makes me nervous.
Let's wire up
like side effects of signals everywhere.
To this. So host button, click that, and then go to
I
the press
guess
signal
you
here,
need
that,
them.
Connect. Let's wire up these buttons and get some references to this. So host button, click that, and then go to the press signal here, double click.
Interesting. What advanced has?
Click that, connect. Same.
I'm connecting it to world. Cool. Okay, so really, so can I just name that anything I want? Like, can I have a custom one, or is it always? Yeah, I think. Yeah, that can be whatever you want it to be, I guess. One for each button, because it's sending a signal, I guess, for that button. I'll have to figure that out exactly. Like, I kind of get it, but I'm not sure, like, what, like, why is this called base button? Like, instead of, like, why is it base button instead of called, like, host button? Like, are the node signals that they can have, like, predetermined always, and it's always going to be that? I don't know.
Button with press,
guess we'll find out eventually.
Connect. And I'm going to remove spaces here because I only put one line between my functions, and
Did he join button too?
These type stuff in here. All right. Let's wire up these buttons and get some references to this. So host button, click that, and then go to the press signal here, double click that, connect. Same thing with join button with pressed, connect. And I'm going to remove spaces here because I only put one line between my functions. And up here, I'm going to get references to main menu and address entry. So at onReadyVar main menu equals, and you can actually just drag this in right over here. Okay, and at onReadyVar address entry.
Interesting. Boop.
Equals address entry.
Not sure why they need to be on ready vars, like preloaded, but oops, address entry. Well, I mean the IP address entry, so it's actually like clear. I should name it here too, actually. Boop. Okay. Wait. Oh, okay, it's happy now.
Okay. And we are ready to start wiring some of this up then. Okay, so let's say the player clicks the host button. Well, the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to hide the main menu with mainmenu.hide, and then we're going to have to create a server, and that server is going to have to live on an open port. So I'm going to go const port equals 9999. Typically, any port over 1024 should be open, so this will probably work fine for you. Then I'll go var enetpeer equals enet multiplayer peer.
Yeah, I always thought it was like 5,000 plus, but interesting.
Here, dot.
enet multiplayer peer. Had to figure out what that is.
New, and then I'll create the server down here with enetpeer.create server. And I'll pass in that port number. Then I'll go multiplayer peer equals that enetpeer. And so now, once this runs, this server should be up and running. We just need to spawn in a player for the host. So let's get a reference to the player scene here. Const.
I'm so used to like having like Copilot or something just type this out for me. Hey, figure out what I want, please. Because like 99% of the time, you always type the same thing, as everyone else would. Hey, you're creating a server. You probably want to do this next thing that you always do after that. What have I done? Port not declared. Create server port. Don't lie to me. Ports. Oh, he did console all caps. That's common convention. Makes sense to me.
Capital player equals, whoops, equals preload, and then I'll drag in the player scene here.
What is the difference between preload and on-ready? Like, that to me seems interesting. Hey, nice. You can just do. What is GD just a DG script and TS is something scene? I don't know what T scene is. I don't know why it's not just SCN. But seems cool.
Okay, so now let's make a function down
That was
here
pretty
so
easy to use.
Spawn them. Func add player,
So far, anyway.
Peer ID var player equals player dot instantiate player dot name equals string peer ID. This is going to be used for authority purposes later.
I don't have a peer ID.
And then add
Oh, I do.
child
I do have peer ID apparently.
player. Okay.
So
now you just call it from.
wait. Does that mean it's a signal? Is that what that's supposed to mean? Maybe that's what that means, the underscore ahead of the function name.
So add player, and then we can get the peer ID for the host.
What have I done? Enet peer add
By going multiplayer.get unique ID. Okay, so let's play this. The first time that you run this, it's probably, at least if you're on Windows, this is what it does for me. It's probably going to ask you if you want to give this application access to your.
Or if it's mine, it just doesn't do anything. Wait, what button did he click when you ran that?
Unique ID. Okay, so let's play this. The first time that you run this, it's probably, at least if you're on Windows, this is what it does for me. It's probably going to ask you if you want to give this application.
Well, that's a little concerning that mine just doesn't work. Oh, it doesn't seem to be actually running because it's not capturing the mouse. Do I have to... Like, maybe it's like mad... Or maybe I've done something horribly wrong. Let's actually move the character in the world. And, oh yeah, the character's not in the world anymore. So maybe it's something to do with how I instantiate the character. So player is here. Add player. On host button, add player, multiplayer, get unique ID, unit peer. I think this is the same as his.
access to your private and public networks, and a function down here so that we can actually spawn them. Func add player peer ID var player equals player dot instantiate player dot name equals string peer ID. This is going to be used for authority purposes later. And then add child player. Okay, so now we just call it from up here. So
is this the right one?
Player, and then we can get the peer ID for the host by going multiplayer.get unique
what's this say?
ID.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
so
nothing.
let's play this. The first time that you run this, it's probably, at least if you're on Windows, this is what it does for me. It's probably going to ask you if you want to give this application access to your private and public networks, and make sure that you.
So I think what's happened here is an absolute betrayal of my trust that this tutorial is going to work for me. I believe. Wait, I might know. Wait, it hides the. But shouldn't it show the? I guess it's not.
Now, once this runs, the server should be up and running.
Main menu hide.
Press in multiplayer. Now, once this runs, equal preload, and then I'll drag in the.
It looks like we're parented the same way.
Player scene here. Okay, so now let's make a.
Do I need an onReady var for the player or something weird? It's like, this is why I like using Rust, is like basically, most times in Rust it's like, if it's not gonna work, it just won't even compile. Not every situation, but I couldn't really tell you. Is there a way to join button pressed, target world, target world. It's like, it's possible that it is kind of working, but my player's not instantiating in the right spot. That's kind of like the fun with the game dev stuff, is like, God knows, like, oh, wait a minute. Let me take a look at the world here. Actually, let's just do something bizarre, just to make sure. Actually, I should just move the whole thing. There we go. Just to make sure that this isn't what's going on. Well, the fact that it doesn't capture the mouse is strange to me. To me, it appears to not be spawning the player. If the player was in the worlds, that script's in the world, right? Where it's supposed to just like instantiate the player. Okay. Do I get like a debug thing going on here? Is there a way I can like run it with a debugger, like actually running? Are you a cool debugger? Oh wait, maybe I had to hit click like record when I do. Escape works. Wait. I don't have any breakpoints. Errors. No, that's not really an error, that's a warning, but fair enough. Yeah, it's interesting because like it seems to just not do the thing where it makes it. Join shouldn't do anything. Host should instantiate. It seems to not do that, but it is still responsive. It could be something he's talking about where like maybe this maybe this is, can I actually just like, there we go, I can comment that out. Peer ID Bob, that's a good name. Enet peer, we'll just have it not do any of this. We'll just instantiate the character instead of doing any multiplayer shenanigans at all. And we can see if maybe the system just blocks this function from running entirely. Who knows, maybe. doesn't seem to be anything to do with networking, I would guess, but maybe, don't know. This is why you need like a million fans so they can tell you what you're doing wrong. Where does it instantiate this exactly? How did he set up his player? Where is his player? But I mean, if it's not capturing the mouse, it's not instantiating that period, because you'd think that it would have, wait, where is the thing where it captures the mouse? Function ready, input mouse mode, captured. So it should, in theory, when it instantiates, it should just capture the mouse. Wait, should it be var player equals player instantiate? Shouldn't it just be player instantiate? Did I, oh. That is weird to me because, okay. Does it need to return something? What am I doing? Wait, add player. Oh, yeah, there we go. Just missing the actual return on that. Oh my god, what am I doing? I'm just trying to not have it. There we go. Yeah, so there we go. It actually has to do something with that, which makes more sense than it just being the world's craziest side effect. So I would imagine that this will probably work now. Yay! Haha! If you're wondering what this brick is, if you just got here, the brick is just how I tell what direction the character is facing. Oh, okay. Just so I know for when we do the networking code that it's going to actually, you know, you can tell when you have the two instances running that the player's actually rotating and it's syncing.
Now as well, and I'm going to
Because I didn't bother making any guns or anything for him, so he's just got a brick to indicate direction.
do that by copying these 3 lines right here. So I'll paste that. Well, we can wire up a signal here to it. So it's going to connect to add player. It's going to pass in, and it's propelling them upwards. So the way that I'm going to solve this to it, so it's going to connect to add player. It's going to pass in the new peer ID, and it'll spawn one every single time the client connects. So let's go to server by going multiplayer.peer connected.connect, and we'll connect it to add player. So peer connected is a signal that's going to emit.
Okay, so we just got to add a line here, looks like, for... This is an interesting API for however they're doing this this multiplayer package here. I have no idea what it's actually doing, but it seems like a pretty cool library or whatever it is.
On the server every time a client connects to it, so it's going to connect to add player, it's going to pass in the new peer ID, and it'll spawn one every single time the client connects. So let's go to debug, run multiple instances, and we're going to run 2 instances now. So let's see. So up here, I'll host, and then down here, I'll join. And so what happened here is 2 players spawned. You can kind of see the animations going together, but they are colliding infinitely, and it's propelling them upwards. So the way that I'm going to solve this is I'm just going to make it...
I kind of want to see me propelled upwards. And also, I've never... That's a pretty cool function. All right, here we go. Let's propel upwards. Wait. I don't get to go upwards. Woo. It wouldn't make any sense if you could see the 2 characters together yet, because there's not any like logic for how that works. That will take some more coding for sure.
Get so that players don't collide, and I'm going to change the player layer here. Here I'll host, and then down here I'll join.
Wait. I don't even have anything for join. Wait, on join button pressed. There we go. Main menu.hide. Enet. Wait, why are they both creating servers? Interesting. This must just be temporary, I guess. Oh, they're doing the same thing for now? Okay.
That, and we're going to change create server here to create client, and then we need to pass it an address, and because we're just testing things locally for now, we can just hard code this to localhost, and then we'll pass in the port right there, and we don't want to call add player on the join button, we only want to spawn players from the server. So how do we spawn a player when the client joins? Well, we can wire up a signal here on the server by going multiplayer.peer_connected.connect, and we'll connect it to add player. So peer connected is a signal that's going to emit on the server every time a client connects to it. So it's going to connect to add player, it's going to pass in the new peer ID, and it'll spawn one every single time the client connects. So let's go.
I already had that for some reason.
Go to
why am I typing things twice?
Run multiple.
Okay, let's see if we get anything cool happening now. Okay, 1, 2. Oh. Yeah, I think we're flying away. So it is working.
Instances, and we're going to run 2 instances join.
Okay,
and it's
so we're somewhat close to what they're doing.
Okay, so a second player connects when the client joins
the
new peer ID.
I guess we should do
join.
that fix for them
And
not to fly
so
off
what
the map.
Here is 2 players spawned. You can kind of see the animations going together, but they are colliding infinitely, and it's propelling them upwards. So the way that I'm going to solve this is I'm just going to make it so that players don't collide.
Come back, you cowards.
Come
make games with me.
The player layer here to 2, then I'll remove the 1, and let's try.
Player alert to
And
2.
it's propelling them upwards. So the way that I'm going to solve this is I'm just going to make it so that players don't collide, and I'm going to change the player layer here to 2, then I'll remove the 1, and
Seems kind of smart. I guess that's a good way to fix it, I think. Collision layer 2. Okay.
let's try this again.
I'm just gonna trust that probably works.
And I'll actually move over here and then join. And there we go. So 2 are connected. However, the host, the server, is controlling both of them right now. So we're going to have to fix that. Okay, so a second player.
Wait, what? That's interesting. They're actually in the game already? Weird. Also, there's got to be a way that I can just like start to and have it automatically click these buttons. Oh, weird. Oh. Oh, I am controlling them both. But why are they... Oh, because he can get caught on the thing and the other guy can't. Yeah, that's cool. That is trippy. That is real trippy. This should be a game in itself. This is so trippy. Alright.
Player connects when the client joins the server, but currently they only spawn in the server and they're both being controlled by the server. So there's a couple things we have to change here, but the first thing that I'm
Wait,
going to
how come his spawns like in a different spot?
Solve this is I'm just going to make it so, and I'll actually move.
Oh, he moved.
Here.
Yeah, okay, he moved first.
The fix is I'm going to spawn the players
Gotcha.
in both instances. So I'm going to go to the world scene. I'll click world, Control A, and I'll add a multiplayer spawner node. Then I'll go to spawn path and
Multiplayer spawner node. Interesting. Like, I have no idea how you know what should be a node, what should be a library.
and we're instancing the players as a child of this world node here. So I'm going to select this as the spawn path. Then I'll go to auto spawn list, add element, click this folder icon, then I'll
Auto spawn list. Oh, what have I done? Okay. Player?
select player.tscn because this is what we're spawning and this is what we need spawned in all of the clients. So I'll open that there, save, and then let's try this again. So I'll host here and I'll move over here. Then I'll join. And then we can see that the client connects as well. And you can't see it because you can only see one player, but they're actually both spawned here. They're just both in the same exact spot because the authority hasn't been set yet. So currently we're just controlling both players.
What? Okay, and now we have another one that joins. And they're both here, maybe? I'll just take his word for it. I have no idea why.
And it's still the same thing in this instance as well. So the next thing we'll do is we'll fix that. In order to make it so that the server and the client can only control their corresponding players, we need to set up the authority and connect it to their corresponding peer IDs. And since we set the player name to the peer IDs, this is going to be pretty easy. I'll go back into the player script over here, and then I'll make a function above ready called func_enter tree. And then here I'll go set multiplayer authority.
He's doing stuff. we better do stuff too. Func enter tree. Set multiplayer authority. Oops.
String name to int, because this has to be an integer, and name actually isn't stored as a string.
What? Where's his name coming from? Like, where is this? What is this? Where's this coming from? Magic.
And then
There's a
we're
lot
going
of
to have to
magic
check
going
this
on.
authority in ready unhandled input and physics process. So starting with ready, we'll do if not is multiplayer authority.
So it must be a callback that sets the name in this, and then I don't
if it's
even
not
know.
the authority,
I don't even know what's going on there.
Return. Don't execute this code.
If not is multiplayer authority. Oh man, this is gonna get so trippy. Like, for trying to like manage this project with how many things are going on at once. Like, okay, so we spawned a character. Okay, makes sense, I guess. But like, what if you want to like have a chat bubble that spawns and then disappears? Like, how do I do that? That'll be like one of the things I'll have to figure out, because it seems like you're gonna like be getting a lot of. Actually, I think he does it later in the video or something where he just like shows like what to sync. I have a feeling you'll have like a chat bubble UI over their head. You just set the text, and then you just set like a couple Boolean variables or something, whether it's shown or not, and then you just probably sync whether it's shown or not, and leave it for, however long the message is. You do a time based on how long the message is or something like that. I think maybe that's how you do it. Maybe you don't have to do this stuff kind of for everything. Maybe this maybe this is just done once, and hopefully that'd be nice.
We're going to add one more line here, and that is we want to make sure that the camera is current for the correct player character. So here we're going to say camera.current equals true. So that will make that the case. And then we'll just copy this line.
Okay.
And we'll just drop it.
I guess
unhandled input and physics process as well. And then I'll save. And then let's take a look. So over here.
So let's figure out what this actually means here. Let's think about this for a second. So if you are not the multiplayer authority, and that is a confusing sentiment to me, because what is that, like, authority of this instance running the game, or the server host? Like, what does that mean? The authority of this instance, or the authority of the host of the entire game? I guess we'll find out kind of how that works. So it's like, if you are not the authority of the server return, that would make no sense. So it must mean if you are not the authority of this instance of the binary that is the game running. So it's like somehow this knows, I would guess, like when it does this, it like, I'm gonna guess that like they're all symmetrical, basically, where it's doing some magic to kind of figure out, in most cases, like you like, I don't think it means you're the server authority, and I don't even know if that's how this works. I think it means like the authority that controls this character on this version of it running on this computer, which would make it really easy to program around. If you don't have to think asymmetrically all the time of like who is the actual server authority and who's an authority of a character in the game, that will make it much easier to figure out and reason about. Obviously, you can't do this for free. Like, things like this are interesting, but like all demos, like this is a toy demo to a degree. Like, it looks like you're doing a lot of work here, but you're basically doing like the very, very basics of creating anything. And you probably will run into some issues, I think, with this layout. Like, maybe the library has some cool stuff for getting around this. I assume that, multiplayer games are so common, maybe they figured a lot of stuff out. Like, what's the command for, it's like, if I'm the server, like, because we can't all be the server of the game. One person has to be the host. I assume that's how this works. How do I say, like, if you're the host authority versus not the host authority? Because it's like, maybe you want to run only physics on the host authority and then update everyone else. which would make kind of sense in some situations, maybe, I don't know. But stuff like that, like, so it's like, this is just like the bare basics of something.
Join here.
And like, you might end up ripping all of this out and doing this an entirely different way for any like serious project.
And there we go. I'm only controlling one character over here, and then on the server, it's the same case, but...
Okay, so at this point, we should be able to move them both separately, but they shouldn't update position to the other character. Whoop. But I think you should see them spawn, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, nice. Look at that. See, so they don't update position. That'll probably be... Oh. Okay, well, we have a problem of... it works one way, but not the other way. Oh, no. Wait, no, it's not working on both. Wait.
They're not synchronized, and that's the next thing that we have to save. And then let's take a look. So over here, I'll host.
Did I not save?
Okay, and then I'll join here. And there we go. I'm only controlling one character over.
Maybe I've missed one of these here, or maybe I didn't save or something. Let's find out. But okay, so we do see that a character joined, so that's like we have done something. But I believe. Oh, I must have just not saved. Wait. Nope, that's right. Nope. Wait, no, that's not right. What is going on? Yeah, no, it is moving. Okay, so I've done something wrong. I believe, anyway. I probably missed a step here.
String name to int, because this has to be an integer, and name actually isn't stored as a string. And then we're going to have to check for this authority in ready, unhandled input, and physics process. So starting with ready, we'll do if not is multiplayer authority. So if it's not the authority, return, don't execute this code. So we're going to add one more line here, and that is we want to make sure that the camera is current for the correct player character. So here we're going to say camera.current equals true. So that will make that the case.
That did work.
And then we'll just copy this line, and we'll just drop
it
in the first line of unhandled input and physics process.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Save.
Physics process.
Let's take a look. So,
okay, so missing in physics process is why it was. Okay, well, I mean, I love comments on like add gravity, and you can just read it, and you're like, oh, gravity's literally in there. It's like that's a pretty funny comment. Same with that one. Handle jump velocity. If action pressed, jump. Oh, I got it tabbed wrong. Okay, there we go. So in theory now, it won't simulate the physics on the. I'm so not used to that because I was using can't remember what it's called, but like an MMO backend engine called like it's a big Unity associated company that does like really big MMO scaling, like sharding almost of some sort, like some specialized sharding technology, and it was could do like apparently like hundreds of thousands of concurrent players, and like the authority stuff was very different where it was like it's like a foreign server that was the authority. And you were like subservient to that, and so like it's weird to just go from this one where it's like the authority just means like your computer, which is so much easier to be honest, but kind of cool. I didn't get too far with that massive MMO project. Okay, there we go. So it's not doing the physics simulation on both, but this like if I can get away with making a game with this model of server relationship, like this is so much simpler.
Here. I'll host, okay, and then I'll join here, and there we go. I'm only controlling one character over here.
Got it first try.
On the server,
just kidding.
It's the same case, but they're not synchronized, and that's the next thing that we have to fix.
Welcome to my stream where I make an amazing game.
And the multiplayer spawner node.
Let me know what you think my game should be like.
Simple way to synchronize things between scenes, and I'll add it here. I'll click Player, Control A, and that's going to be the multiplayer synchronizer node. So all we have to do is add the properties that we want.
See, like what I don't get exactly.
Player position.
Well, I gotta look at what he clicked there for real quick. But like what I don't get is like how do I know to add this mode to the player? Like why isn't it added to the world and you're just like player? I guess it depends on the scope of what you need to move or like what you need to send across, and sending across the entire player and all data is probably like insane, but
we want to sync in here. So the ones that I'm going to sync are
okay. I guess we'd want to sync the I'm not even going to guess, but I'm going to guess it's like rotation and something else.
Our player position.
Where was that? I didn't even see that option. What? He's choosing secret options. Where are your secret options?
We want to sync in here. So the ones that I'm going to sync are player.
Okay. Player position. I'm going to imagine probably player rotation too or something. Position. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to bet there's going to be some kind of rotation. I'm just going to guess.
Position. Oops. Player rotation.
Oh, called it.
And camera rotation.
Amazing game dev. Oh yeah, that seems important.
Okay.
Well, like why? I guess I'd want to sync. No, that's. Wait a minute. He must have. I don't need to do that. I don't have a gun, number one. But he must have parented the gun to the camera, or something like that. Like it should already rotate, as far as I can figure out.
And that's it. It should work just like that.
I might have to do the
again, and I'll join the client here, and boom, up and down, left, right. See it moving. Let's check the other one.
Wow. Okay. Let's see if we have a multiplayer game or not. Do we have a multiplayer game? Here's one character. Here's two characters. Oh, look, they're moving. Oh, we have a multiplayer game. Counter-Strike 3. It's coming out soon. Shot my AK, bro. Okay, so I'm gonna just guess that this is how I would do it. Multiplayer synchronizer. Apparently it's gone now for some reason. How do I get you back? Okay, there you are. CSG box, rotation. Because I don't think I need position. And that should actually... No, it shouldn't. I'm crazy. I think. I think I'm crazy? Yeah, I'm crazy because it doesn't move anyway. Yeah, I'm crazy. I don't need to sync that. I need to sync. I think I need to do what he did, like with the camera rotation or something like that, to the parented to the gun. I think that's why he did that. But I'll figure that out later. That's not a big deal. My game's already amazing, so there we go. Yeah, exactly. Do you like my sweet game? You want to play it? In theory, we almost could, but it'll be really not fun, so we probably won't bother. But now we can make anything we want, in theory. I guess.
It works.
What does he do in the rest of this?
Pure magic.
Oh, receive damage.
So we've got some stuff synchronized now, but one thing that we don't is actually.
I kind of want to just see like a health bar.
In one game instance, and the corresponding player isn't shooting in the other, and that's just because the play shoot effects function is only being called locally. So how do we call it in the remote instance? Well, what we have to do is we have to add this annotation here.
So RPC means remote procedure call. I don't know if you're a game dev or not. That means like run this function on their end. I guess. I am not sure exactly how it works in this context.
If we call this as an RPC function, it's only going to be called on the remote instance, so we also need to add something here called call local, so that it's called in both. And then, in order
Right, okay, interesting. That is kind of weird.
To call this as an RPC function, instead of calling the function like this, we call it by writing the function name and then writing RPC just like that. So now...
Man, my brain's going to get so fuzzy trying to remember like which functions run on which person's computers, which ones run on both. That is going to be quite crazy. One thing I want to add is a text box. Like I want to add a text box here where we go like, how does Godot work? Do you know how Godot works? In Blender, even better. Is there a node for? I guess it might just be a canvas layer, but just like a text box. Text. Yeah, I think that's gonna have to go in a canvas layer of some sort. Canvas layer. Add child node. Actually, that might be a really easy way to do this. Oh, boop. Bloop. Actually, like, I don't know what I'm doing with Godot, so I have no idea if this will, like... Hello. Where is this? I feel like I have to make it like a billboard or something, because, like, where is it? Is it only on... Is there a way to make it, like, 3D? Is there a 3D canvas layer? Okay, that's not helping exactly. Can I billboard it? Like follow viewport? Okay, I need a tutorial for this because I don't know if this is like a 2D only thing or what this is exactly. Okay. Goodo, how to do text chat box billboard. Text in 3D in 1 minute. I do like the sound of 1 minute.
So you want to make text in 3D in Godot.
I want to make it in 1 minute.
Then again, to add a label. Type your text in the
Sprite 3D. There we go. Okay, so Sprite 3D.
in the label.
What is viewport?
Then again, to add a
I'll probably figure it out later.
text.
What else are we doing?
You want the label to act as a billboard instead of. And that's this video. Please set the
Okay.
billboard direction. Click the background grayness.
Okay, let's just like wing it. That's our new thing. We're just gonna wing things now. I remember the hotkey. I guess it's that button, but Control A. Sprite 3D. Get rid of our canvas layer because it's not gonna do it for us. Okay, and now with this we go viewport. Sub viewport. What? Maybe it's just that. Maybe we can just get away with that. And then label. It might just be a sub viewport because it's not like the main scene or something. I don't know. I don't know how this shit works. All I know is I'm gonna make the world's best game. The world's... Oh, great. I love how it's not showing up at all. It's good progress. 3D? No. Okay. Time to watch the 1 minute tutorial. Oh, looks like there's a thing we had to hit.
Sprite 3D. Click empty. Click new viewport texture. Click on the viewport node. To fix it being
New? What is this black magic that this man has done? Texture. There it is. Okay. New viewport texture. Sub viewport. Okay, there we go. Okay. It is backwards. Flip H. There we go. The world's best game. Seems good. What is the size of this? This is scary. Maybe I could just... Is it just the size of the world now? Alright, I don't know. Anyways, I think what we can probably do is we can probably sync this text with this multiplayer synchronizer. It's probably should be at the bottom or something. I don't know. I actually don't know if it matters where it goes. And we'll sync the label of this. And the text? Yeah, okay. I think that's all we need to do. This is like the most amazing multiplayer synchronizer I've ever seen. Because you'd have to do like a bunch of work to send this stuff across, so this is pretty cool. But in theory, if I knew how anything worked in Godot, I can make it so you hit enter, and then you can just like chat to people. And then I've recreated Second Life, and I will profit immensely. Oh, there you go. Look, he's talking to me. This is the world's best game. And then I'd be like, enter. I agree. This is the world's best game. The other thing I want to make it do, just for fun, is like read it out in that like weird computer voice where it's like, yes, this is the world's best game. And I think that will basically be my ideal game, and we can just end it there and start selling it for millions. Just a game where it's just two guys in a white, plain cube world, just talking shit and getting lit, I guess. So anyways, so far so good. In theory, I think... actually, it's probably further on this tutorial video, but we can actually join the game in theory. I'll probably make it so we can actually talk before I ever ask anyone to do that. And I probably won't even then because it'll be so boring. But yeah, I guess that's probably good for today. We can figure out how to do the enter button tomorrow or something, I guess. So for the label, like, is it a signal or something? Like, can I node GUI input? Oh, you can draw? That'd be even funnier. How do you... Script change, that's interesting. How do I change you? Input event, GUI input. But it's not a GUI. I have so many questions. Anyways, I gotta pee. So I'm gonna end the stream to make my own streams in my bathroom. All right, take it easy, everybody. Tune in tomorrow night where we will continue to possibly make it so we can talk to each other in this amazing game. And then from there, we'll figure out how to, like, make it so people... We'll make some kind of system where people can... Like, almost like a quest system where people can kind of make... Like, I really... There's two things I really care about. It's, like, one, people have to be able to, like, import models or take a library of models that exist in the game and place them in the game to build levels. And two, that has to be savable, which is probably not going to be that hard, I don't think. Famous last words. And then I guess you also have to be able to, like, program some sort of game rules, so there'll be some kind of in-game scripting of some sort, some very basic stuff, I guess, maybe. We'll see. Like, those two projects are quite large, so we'll see what we can even do. Parsing an in-game programming language will be quite interesting. Yeah, bye. Yeah. But yeah, tune in tomorrow. We'll do more work. I'm off to probably play Counter-Strike now with Fisher Anderson and others. I'm basically just feeling lazy and now want to drink and play Counter-Strike. So, cool. Thanks for joining in. Catch you tomorrow. See everybody. Keep dreaming, dreamers. That's my sign off for Wilko's Dream Stream, which I don't even know if the stream's called that anymore. All right. See